I've talked about how I need to buy a new truck, and this is one of the most appealing for me. I'll include a link to the Dodge Ram Insanity's website in the description down below. They're providing us with this truck. Let's get right into it. Now this Warlock package has the standard output Hurricane that puts out 420 horsepower, 468 pound-feet of torque. I have several friends that have this engine, and they've all been averaging over 20 miles per gallon, which is very appealing in a pickup truck. If you're looking for more videos like this or my standard reviews, make sure you subscribe. Now the next thing I like about the Warlock is the front end. They've blacked out elements. You've got recovery points, parking sensors, fog lights. Like, this has all of the front end equipment that you'd want out of a truck, and you know, it looks a little bit more basic, but not really. Now the next thing that I really like is the tire and wheel setup. So this has the exact same tire and wheel setup as the Ram Rebel, but it doesn't have the fender flares, and so you actually have a pretty aggressive offset here. It's not illegal, right? But it's like right there. This is where I usually, you know, have the tires set with my vehicles, where it's pretty flush with the bodywork. I think it just looks good. And then size-wise, this is really good. It's got the crew cab, which I'll show in a moment. It's very spacious. And then you've got the shorter bed. I would kind of prefer maybe a longer bed, but I think I could do things with a short bed. But before we go over the bed, the coil spring suspension, the Ram, is also really appealing to me because nice ride quality. Now you guys have to remember, I'm doing things with an SUV right now, and so having a bed in general is a huge upgrade in terms of carrying stuff and everything. This one doesn't really have any features other than bed liner, but I don't care about LED bed lights. I don't care about having a fancy bed step. Like, I'm young, I'm spry, I can just jump up into the darn thing. And then the other thing I like about Ram tailgates is they're very light. Like, you can literally just throw it up into place. And then I think the back end looks good, kind of some of the more rounded off edges, and then the taillights, it's a classic. Now taking a look inside, I got kids, and I can tell you having this is nice because they don't need fancy and comfortable, but I need something that's easy to clean, and there's lots of storage. One downside of the Warlock is the cloth seats. They're very comfortable, but it'd be easy for a kid to stay in that. That's one downside. It does have a 60-40 split, which is nice, and then you do still get these storage buckets on the other side. This is extremely appealing. So much room back here, so like if you have a car seat, you can fit it easily, which we've got 2 of them. Vents in the back, so airflow for the rear passengers. They also have power sliding windows, so more airflow, and then headroom in the Rams without the sunroof and everything's pretty good. And now let's take a look up front. Blind spot monitoring, because that's the only piece of safety tech that I actually really use. Thicker glass with the Rams, which is very nice, and again, easy to clean surfaces up front. Automatic for the front 2 windows. Payload on these is pretty good, 16-18. And then with the front seat, manual with the adjustments. I don't care about having power. Steering wheel's manual too. And speaking of the steering wheel, it's this like durable synthetic trim, which I mean is gonna last a long time. You do have practical controls in the front for like the adaptive cruise, your gear limiter function. There's no radio controls in the back, it's a little bit of a downside. And then I like the gauge cluster because it has a screen, so I can change what's in the center, but it's mostly analog, so more reliable, less glitches. Backup camera, again, that's all you need. And then, yeah, as for the infotainment system, same thing with the whole screen setup, where I feel like the smaller screens just respond better, and this means I get physical controls below for the radio, the climate. Got stuff like the parking sensors there too. Does have the dial shifter. I honestly don't mind. One downside, no 4-wheel drive auto, but still has a 4-wheel drive system and an axle lock for the rear, which is nice if I'm in a muddy field or something and things get dicey. Got off-road cruise. And then this has a bench seat. This is also really cool. So, you know, in the future, if one of the kiddos wants to sit up front, or, you know, on the farm, right? Maybe driving through the field, you have the kiddo sitting next to you. That's also kind of nice rather than having them all the way over on the other side. And then the pricing, $55,650, and that's obviously before discounts. So let's take this out, drive it, talk about things. So let's set off in the Warlock. The thermostat indicates it's 129 degrees outside. It's definitely not. We are sitting in the sun though. I will say something surprising. So you guys have seen I've been wearing the hat. Even on the hotter days, I get a little bit sweaty, but I've noticed that I don't overheat as quickly having my head covered. I might switch to a baseball cap though, that'll probably be more practical. But yeah, a lot of people are asking about the hat. It's just for comfort, and I'm so sick of tying my hair back, and I'm not ready to cut my hair yet. I'll get there eventually, but I'm not ready to cut my hair yet. And the other thing that sucks is tying my hair back. If the GoPro that's on right now, if I have that on with my hair tied back, then the GoPro pulls on my hair and starts to rip it out. And so it's like I do like 5 or 6 videos in a day, and then yeah, I lose a bunch of hair on the front. It sucks. These things drive so nice. The inline 6 is smooth, it's got good torque. It's quiet. Like, the thing is, like, with an engine like this, I don't really care for the sound. You know what I mean? So being quiet is kind of what I want. And then on top of that, goes around corners well. These Rams drive nice. And the thing I like about the standard pickup truck, because, you know, I did a video about this recently with the RHO, is this truck just, I think it drives fine. You know, with the Bilstein shocks, the coil suspension, it's more than comfortable enough. They're upset. Like spamming the little button thing. Sorry, I get distracted easy. But yeah, I think it drives really nice, personally, with everything it's got going. It's quiet inside too. And since they do the thicker glass even in the baseline like this, still get an insulated cabin. And this still has so many features. I mean, you know, for example, sorry if the vent was blowing on you guys, I just realized that. You've got both types of USB ports, modern climate controls. You know, you have the thicker glass plus modern climate, and the interior will be quite insulated. Quite insulated. So it does make a big difference. Oh Lord, I can't see past this band. Okay, we're good to go. Yeah, see, the power's smooth. I love inline 6s. Because with an inline 6, you don't feel bad. Like, it doesn't, I should say you don't feel bad. It doesn't feel bad to rev it out. Because it's just smooth. And the transmission's a big part of it, too. Yeah, it's like engine plus transmission. It's smooth. 8-speed in an inline 6. I don't know if it gets better than that. There's not really any, like, I don't have any downsides to if I were to pick this truck. Like I said, this bed's a little bit shorter, but if I'm coming from an SUV and using that to do stuff to a truck, like, huge upgrade. I could have a, you know, 2-foot bed, and that's still going to be more practical than using an SUV in a sense. Yeah, such a nice drive. Like, for a baseline truck, I don't think Ram can be beat. I really like the Ford STX looks cool, but doesn't drive as well. You know, Chevy's not even competing at this point because they have a stupid 4-cylinder turbo that sucks. And you know, Toyota's SR5 Tundra is actually pretty nice, but Ram's suspension tuning and engine tuning, it's smoother. And so far, this inline 6 has been, it looks like it's probably going to be more reliable than Toyota's V6 because they had a thermostat issue and everything else has been pretty good since then, whereas Toyota's still having that Tundra engine issue where the, you know, metal shavings or whatever left in the engine and causing bearings to fail. So I'm sure they'll fix it eventually, but time will tell on that. So let me know what you guys think. I know the Rebel's more exciting to a lot of people, and I owned one of those back in the day, but the Warlock is kind of cooler than the Rebel because it gives you all the Rebel stuff. You have the shocks, you have the tires, you have the wheels, but you aren't paying 70 grand. You're paying $15,000 less. It's crazy.